I think we're live. I think we're live. I think we're live. Someone let me know you can hear me in the chat. That's all I need to know. My mic says it's registering sound, but I just need to know if you guys can hear me or see me or any of that cool stuff. So please let me know. Live! I think we're live. Someone let me know. Someone let me know. Please, someone let me know. Someone let me know. Someone let me know. Someone let me know. Someone let me know you can hear me in the chat. That's all I need to know. My phone's picking it up, so I'm assuming you guys can hear me. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I know, my orange hands. Don't hate. Like, if you guys can see, like, the in-betweens of my fingers, like, right there. Oh my gosh, it's so gnarly. It's, like, brown in here. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, man. It does look good everywhere else, though. I'm, like, super tan, man. It's nice. My ankles are, like, orange, too, though, and my knees, but whatever. All right, so yes, I'm here. I'm just going to start talking. We're just going to get going because I have a lot to cover and I don't want to have this be like an hour-long live and you guys be absolutely miserable the whole time, but I'm hoping I keep you engaged and I'm hoping that you like it. We are going to be talking about COVID in prison. I tried to do this a few weeks ago, but my son wasn't napping and he just kept coming in and interrupting, so I didn't really get to talk about the topics I really wanted to talk about. And now there's a lot more information out. There's a lot more articles and things, obviously, because as time has gone on, we've gotten a lot more information. So yeah, we are going to get into it right now. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Jami, and I did 2.5 years in the Department of Corrections in my state, which is Montana. I can only speak off of my personal experience and what I went through, and I obviously have been out for over 5 years, and I hadn't experienced jail while there was COVID, but I did experience jail while there was influenza, and people were getting their asses kicked just for sneezing. So I can't even imagine what it's like with COVID being in. I do know some people who are in the Department of Corrections right now, people who work for the Department of Corrections, and inmates who are in the Department of Corrections. And I reached out to a few people and I got some information from them, and I can only speak for my state when it comes to that, but I do want to cover the nation as a whole as well, because there is some crazy shit going on, you guys. Crazy shit. Alright, so the first article I want to talk about, I did post a video about it on my Facebook page, my personal page. It's a gentleman who was interviewed by BuzzFeed, and he is serving 43 years to life, and he talked about how they're treating him and how they're sorry, I'm trying to find it here. Sorry, let me get it up. David Sell is his name. And there is a whole article, and once this live posts, I will drop all the links below so you guys can go check them out if you want. But I just wanted to cover it a little bit and show you guys a clip of the video where he's talking, and I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's crazy. I think he's in New York. Let me see. Yeah, he's in New York. But okay. I'm gonna play this, and you guys are gonna watch for a second. Let me get it connected and everything. 1 second. There is none. Let me know if you guys can see that.
one mouth to another mouth. You got to ask the doctor to wipe off the thermometer or give you a new thermometer. I mean, it's just the basic things. But not even like you dealing with a virus that is killing people, and there's no precautions being
All right.
taken.
It's 2.5 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I don't want to get copyrighted. But it's wild, okay, you guys? They're not doing anything. They're literally, they don't even give them Tylenol for their fevers, okay? He was talking about there's guys in there spitting up blood, and they're still debating on whether or not they should take them to a hospital. They aren't even wiping off the thermometers before going to the next inmate to take their temperature. What? What the dude, it blows my, oh my god, it makes me so mad. They're just, it literally, like, every article you read or people who, and like they interview state officials, they're like, we're just worried about public safety right now. But so, like, inmates don't matter. Inmates, yeah, they're just criminals. Who cares? Like, that's basically where they're at right now, and they're worried about public safety. Well, the public, I mean, I can only talk for where I'm at least, but where I'm at, I went to Walmart the other day with a mask and gloves on, and I had to go. I have a family. I have to go get groceries and shit. I had to go, and there's literally nobody wearing masks and nobody wearing gloves and nobody taking any precautions. They're in there by the dozens, hanging out in groups, but they're worried about public safety. If you're so worried about public safety, then why don't you go into the public and get them to follow social distancing? You're so concerned about inmates maybe possibly getting released, high risk inmates getting released, but you're worried about public safety, which I'll get into. But oh my god, they contradict themselves so much. It just pisses me off. This guy's story is horrible. The reason he was on BuzzFeed to begin with is because he is trying to get his trial dropped, and he did a retrial, and that's all happening right now. And BuzzFeed is covering that whole story. So I will leave that link below. You should definitely check it out. It sounds like he's innocent, but I don't know. I don't know what the whole deal is, but you should go watch it. It's really really awesome. He seems like he knows what he's talking about, as far as what's going on inside the prison. Let's see. I have another article, you guys. This one, trigger warning right now. Big trigger warning. This one is horrible, and I don't want you guys. If you are um, like a mom, um, it just might trigger you a little bit. I'm just warning you now, okay? I'm just warning you now. Once I edit this video a little bit after the live post, I will put a better trigger warning. I don't know how else to explain it right now. I'm just gonna read you the article because it's freaking wild, okay? This is from South Dakota. South Dakota's right next to me. A U.S. federal prison inmate who gave birth while she was on a ventilator has died of COVID-19. I won't name her name. You guys can go read the article if you want. She was 30 years old. She died on April 28th, which was just yesterday. Yes. While serving a 26-month sentence for a drug charge in South Dakota. That's not that big of a sentence. That means she would have probably, you usually do about half your time and then you can see the parole board. So she probably would have done a year and then been able to go in front of the parole board, and they probably would have released her out onto probation. But she was pregnant when she got sentenced, so she was obviously going to have her baby in prison, and someone was going to have to take the baby, and if no one could take the baby, it was going to go into foster care, but whatever. That's a whole different thing we can get into another day. Anyways, there have now been 30 coronavirus-related deaths of federal inmates, and more than 1,300 confirmed cases, according to the Bureau of Prisons. 1,300 confirmed cases in the prisons. The federal prisons, not like state prisons, just federal prisons. Okay, there's a difference. There are around 150,000 federal inmates in the U.S. A federal inmate is someone inside a prison or jail operated by the federal government as opposed to a particular state. Yeah, federal prisons are way nicer than state prisons. They're like the Hollywood of prisons. It is not clear how many inmates have died in state-run prisons. Yeah, because state-run prisons are not releasing their information because they don't want people to know what's really going on. Don't get me started. The Marshall Project, a nonprofit news organization which reports the U.S. criminal justice system, gathered data from the state and federal prison agencies across the U.S. and estimated there have been more than 9,400 cases and 131 coronavirus-related deaths. That's their estimate. Concerns over coronavirus have put pressure on the U.S. prison authorities to release inmates in order to prevent infections from spreading. Pre-existing conditions is what it says. The girl was in prison for charges related to distributing methamphetamines filed by the U.S. government on April 2018, to which she pled guilty. That's why she got like a really low sentence. Because if you just plead guilty, they'd be nice to you. She was moved from a jail in South Dakota to a federal prison and in a medical facility in Fort Worth, Texas on March 20th for undisclosed reasons. This is important. And quarantined as required by the prison for all new inmates. The following week, she was taken to a hospital over concerns about her pregnancy. She was discharged later that day. However, she was hospitalized a few days later after displaying COVID-like symptoms and placed on a ventilator. So she had to have been pretty bad to be placed on a ventilator. We'll get into it. The next day, her child was born by cesarean section. She died on April 28th after testing positive for coronavirus earlier this month. The 13th federal inmate to die of COVID-19 and believed to be the first federal inmate woman to die of COVID-19. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Prisons said in the statement she had pre-existing medical condition but did not give any further details. Of course they didn't. There's 1,625 female inmates at the Federal Medical Center where she was at. Next says a question. A danger for prisoners? ? Duh! Reform campaigns say prisoners face unique risks due to lack of hygiene in overcrowded cells and hallways. The U.S. has a greater proportion of imprisoned citizens than any other country, I've mentioned this before, with an estimated of 2.3 million people behind bars. U.S. jails and prisons began releasing inmates in March over concerns about the spread of coronavirus between prisons and staff members, and I will get into that. Later that month, the Attorney General advised federal prisons to transfer inmates to home confinement if possible, where they are deemed to be if they're not deemed to be nonviolent or they're at risk for coronavirus. So, like if they have pre-existing conditions, if they're not safe in the prison and they're nonviolent offenders, then they get to go home and be quarantined at home and be safe at home, so they don't get infected because it's spreading like wildfire in prison. Following this directive, the Bureau of Prisons have placed 1,751 inmates on home confinement, which is good, but out of 2.3 million? However, she did not appear to be considered a priority for early release. The Bureau of Prisons did not give details on the status of her baby. I mean, okay, you guys, how freaking horrible is that? Okay, first off, you're pregnant in prison, which is absolutely terrifying to begin with. There is a YouTuber on here named Jessica Kent, and she talks about being pregnant in prison and giving birth to a baby in prison. She is an amazing YouTuber. She is a lot of the reason why I got up the courage to get up here and tell my story, and her story is amazing, and she got out of prison, and she went and got her baby back, and she is a bad bitch now. But this woman didn't get that opportunity. This woman had a pre-existing condition. I'm sure she told them. Plus, she was pregnant. So obviously she is high risk. I do not understand. Pregnant and pre-existing conditions, and they didn't put her on home release? What? How? How did this woman not be able to leave so that she wouldn't die of COVID? How? They fucked up. This poor woman had her baby and then died handcuffed to a bed in a hospital at 30 years old. I'm almost 30, a few months away. Can you imagine? Ooh, it just makes me start sweating. It makes my blood boil. It's so irritating. I feel so bad for her. I am so sorry for that baby, and I'm so sorry for that family and any of her family members or people that knew her. I send prayers out to you people. I am so sorry that happened, and your justice system failed you, and I'm so sorry. I really am. I'm so sorry. Anyways, moving on to the next one. So you know how they were talking about how they're releasing people who are nonviolent out onto home release, and they blah, blah, blah. We're going to get into that. Let's see here. Sorry. All right, so this is kind of what set it off. This is what made people kick into gear about realizing that it is bad in prison and that it's really affecting people and it's really killing people and it's really starting to become a problem in the prison and in jail. This story is kind of scary. There's a coronavirus outbreak that has sickened 583 inmates at a Tennessee prison. That could have came from staff members, because the facility was on like lockdown and they don't know, there was no confirmed cases, there was no symptomatic people, and then staff members were coming in, and then a just huge outbreak happened, and 583 inmates tested positive. And Tennessee prison holds about 2,300 inmates, and the virus was most likely brought into the prison by an employee. This guy quoted, he actually said the virus is everywhere and easy to move from person to person because many people are asymptomatic, which means a lot of people don't show a lot of symptoms, so they don't know they're sick. So it's just spreading really, really quickly. Oddly, 80 to 90% of those people tested positive are asymptomatic. So it's just crazy, like which is good. I mean, they're not getting like violently ill and all being sick. But this is a big one here. There was 2,322 inmates in that prison that were tested for the virus, which is great. And 1,703 prisoners tested negative. And there's 36 inmates pending. The rest tested positive. I missed it, but some of them died. 38 of the staff tested positive too, as of Tuesday morning. Whew. Sorry, this one's really long. And, okay, yeah. 169 employees have tested positive. 81 staff members have been infected in Ohio, and in Arkansas, 670 inmates have been infected. I mean, it's just getting bad everywhere. Every prison, there's a large amount of inmates getting sick, there's a large amount of staff getting sick, and it's a huge, huge problem. It has increased 500% in the last 10 days in our prison systems, in most states. In 10 days, it has increased 500%. That's insanity, okay? That means a lot of people are asymptomatic. That means that a lot of people don't know they have it and they're spreading it. And they can't help it. These are closed quarters, you guys. I'm talking about, your bathroom? That's what they live in. They literally live in a 6x6 room with a bunk bed and a toilet and a sink. That's a one thing. The sink's on top and the toilet comes out the side of it. That's what they live in. And there is poor ventilation. All of the vents go to the next room. So, like, when I was in jail, you could talk through the vent to the next room, and they could hear you clearly, even to the upstairs, if there was upstairs, and you could, everywhere. The ventilation just cycles through everywhere in there. So, if it's airborne, like some people say it is, it's airborne, like, you don't even have to, like, cough on someone, it can just travel. I don't know if that's true. But it just could spread, and it is spreading so fast, and people are getting sick, and people are dying. And that's why they're taking these steps to get these people. It is spreading so fast, and people are getting sick, and people are dying. Sorry, you guys, I'm having poor connection problems. Sorry, you guys, I'm having poor connection problems. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're good. Sorry about that. Anyways, okay, so my state is... Okay, so our governor issued saying that each county, basically, because each county has like its own judges and everything, right? They get to decide. Okay, I think I'm connected successfully again. I don't know. Okay, I think I'm connected successfully again. I don't know. Whatever. Hopefully we are. Okay. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm sorry if it gets frozen. I'll try to wrap this up. My state is not doing it. Not my state. My counties are not doing it. So what counties are doing is they're depending on like the prosecuting attorneys, they're going by case basis. Like as the case rolls in, and they're like about to sentence them, they're like, oh maybe no, they're good. You just send them to prison. They're fine. The thing is, the women's prison here has 174 beds. Right now, the capacity of the prison is 204 inmates. I looked it up. So it's 10 over. Why? Why? And then in Deer Lodge, they're over capacity too. They need to be taking out the nonviolent elderly and the nonviolent with pre-existing conditions. Let them go, let them get out and be on like house arrest at home, safe, so they don't get sick. There's already confirmed cases in the Department of Corrections. There's a woman who works for the Department of Corrections who has gotten sick and is a confirmed COVID case and is not doing that well. And she works in the large state departments of the prison. So it's going like wildfire, and my state or my counties are being lazy and they don't want to do it. And there's people finally voicing out and saying something, and thankfully like something is happening because someone needs to do something. I mean, it's just so irritating. Okay, this article says people in Montana's prisons and jails are some of the most vulnerable people in the state. The three things that the public health experts say will save lives is social distancing, adequate hygiene, and good medical care. All of those are unavailable to incarcerated people in Montana and everywhere, but here in Montana too. Without swift action, people in our prisons and jails will be serving death sentences. Moreover, research shows that jails contribute to infectious disease deaths in the broader community. More infections in jails will also contribute to the medical system being over capacity. Like they have to send them to the hospital once they get sick. So you have all these sick inmates taking up beds in the hospital too. It's like when you could have sent the elderly home to be safe, and then they wouldn't have got sick and never been in the hospital to begin with. It is the state's responsibility to make sure COVID-19 doesn't take over prisons and jails like wildfire, also putting at risk correctional officers and medical staff and their families and communities when they return home each day. This is not theoretical. A Yellowstone County jail worker has already tested positive for COVID-19. That's my county. What is happening on Rikers Island, where nearly 60 people have contracted coronavirus, could easily happen in Montana's prison and jails, and that's nothing compared to what's happening now. There's over 600 people in that Tennessee jail right now. This is a matter of life or death. If the state and local governments act quickly, we might have a time to avoid the worst case scenario, which I think it's too late. All government agencies and officials must work together. This week, it was heartening to see the Montana Supreme Court ask judges in municipal and county justice courts to limit in-person appearances and to release people who are incarcerated when possible. It was reassuring to see Missoula County make meaningful and swift changes in response to the court. Yeah, Missoula County is badass. But to stop or even to slow this pandemic, our government officials from the local level to the governor need to do more. In a letter to the governor, Attorney General, Department of Corrections, and others involved in Montana's criminal legal system, the ACLU of Montana and our allies recommended some common sense changes that should be made immediately to reduce prison and jail populations and ensure safety to those in the state's custody. This is the time for the governor to lead, though through executive order. He has the power to take swift action and lessen the spread of COVID-19, among other changes. He should ask the Department of Corrections and Parole Board to immediately identify and release certain populations, including people with a short amount of time left in their sentence, people who are older than 55 with pre-existing health issues, and that could make them exceptionally vulnerable. A number of the measures we are suggesting are already being implemented in various parts of the country as leaders recognize them as necessary. Yeah, like we are the only state who's like, fuck the inmates. Of course. And I know this first fucking hand because I dealt with it for 2.5 years. Ooh. As we navigate our lives in the face of coronavirus, we cannot forget about the people in our prisons and jails. I will repeat that. We cannot forget about our people in the prisons and jails, people. That will only lead to more suffering and death for those currently incarcerated or under supervision. Yeah. Ugh. Employees, including correctional officers, probation and parole officers, medical staff, and our larger communities. All of these people are at risk. The time for Montana to take meaningful action is running out. The state must act now. This girl is a badass. And dude, I'm linking this link. This needs to blow up. The governor needs to do something, you guys. It's serious. It's freaking serious. I will keep everyone anonymous, but I was in a pre-release center, which is where you go after prison or after you get done doing a Department of Corrections program. I was in a pre-release center where I lived there for 9 months, and I called there because I know a lot of the girls that work there. I actually was one of the only inmates that they call us residents there. They don't call us inmates anymore once we're there, which is really nice. But you are an inmate. I called and I was just like, I ended up talking to my old case manager, and we were just kind of bullshitting. And I was like, hey, so how is it? Like, what's going on in there? And she was like, dude, it's freaking insane. This whole COVID thing has really messed us up. I'm like, yeah, I bet. So they have shut down all passes and pre-releases throughout the state, which is, I get it. But a pass is something that you're able to leave and like go see your family, or you can just leave and go to the park, or you can just leave. You get to leave for like 2 hours, 4 hours. Once you get to a certain point, you get to leave and go spend the night overnight. Like if you have kids, passes are like a big deal. Like I didn't have kids when I was in pre-release, praise the Lord, but I knew a lot of women who did, and passes were their only time to go see their children and to go spend time with their children. They got to go spend the night back at home with their kids, and now all of that's gone, and they are literally not allowed to leave on passes at all. And the only way you were allowed to leave is if you were considered an essential worker, and your job is considered an essential worker, which most of these girls in pre-release are not considered essential worker, and guys. I don't know. Like some guys might be, and some girls might be, but I don't know. Like I can't think. Like bars and restaurants are closed, and they either work there or like fast food. Maybe some of them at fast food restaurants because drive-throughs, so like they could be going to work that way. But none of them are like nurses or doctors. None of them are, you get what I'm trying to say. A lot of them are housekeepers. Like that's one of the easiest jobs to get in pre-release is to become a housekeeper. I went and became a dental assistant, but that's a whole different story. Yeah, so I don't think hotels. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know about hotels or like if they were considered essential and like they had to go. I don't know. But what she was telling me was that a lot of the girls are out of work, which in pre-release you have to pay weekly to stay there. Like um you have to stay there. You can't leave, but they make you pay for it too. You have to like pay rent. It's to show you how to like get back into life, right? Like it's a program to be like, okay, well, yeah, you have a bed here, but you got to pay rent and you got to pay for this and you got to pay for that. And it's you got to pay for your meals and your bed and everything, and it's about, I can't remember, I think it's like $116 a week, something like that. But without a job, these girls, it's just racking up their bill, right? And they have to pay that before you're allowed to get out. So I can't imagine what these girls are stressing about right now, and guys, and they're stuck in there. Like you finally get to pre-release, you do your time, you do your programs, and you're like, yes, I got accepted into a pre-release, I'm freaking here, I'm yes, right? And you get to go maybe see your family, and then this happens and they're like, nope, you ain't leaving. She said that the morale is down so much that girls are getting discouraged. Girls are finding ways to sneak in drugs because they're bored. They're bored, you guys. And they're a bunch of addicts trapped up that were supposed to be able to go to work and to go see their families and see that life can be better on the other side. But now they're stuck inside and nowhere to go. Oh, God, I can't imagine the anxiety. I mean, just imagine a bunch of addicts who have gotten clean, gone through programs, gone through prison, done their shit, worked their asses off, and then finally get an opportunity to succeed at life, and they're told no, and they're stuck again. And it's just, I can't, unless you were there, you don't even understand what I'm trying to say. But dude, it just is tough. You don't even get a cell phone. in pre-release. You do when you get to a certain phase, but like for the girls who just got in, family members can't even come there to drop off stuff for you or drop off clothes or a cell phone or anything. So if you just got to pre-release, you ain't got nothing. Like, usually like in the first week or two of being into a pre-release, you get to go shopping and get some clothes. You get to go find a job. You get to go, you get to go start your life over. So any of those girls that got in, but like right when COVID started, they are just sitting there, sitting ducks, no clothes, no cell phone, nothing. And you have to pay to use the phone there, but family members can't drop off money. So, oh God, it's sad. It's really sad. So she was just telling me morale's really, really down. A lot of girls are just not having it, and it's really, really sad. I feel really bad. I wish I could just go talk to them. I wish I could talk to them and be like, "You're gonna get through this. I did it. You can do it. Like, I promise you. Like, I know it's hard right now, and like especially with this going on, I can't even imagine. But I promise you that if you can push through pre-release and you can just focus on your goals and just do life, you can do it." It's just so I wish I could talk to all those girls and encourage them, but I can't. Also, I talked to someone who works at a treatment facility, and she said that they are not transporting people right now. So, let's say you get sentenced to 90 days. Okay, no, let's make it extreme. Like, there's a treatment program here in my state that's 9 months long. Let's say you get sentenced to a 9-month treatment program. 9 months! That's a pregnancy. That's a long time. Very, very long, okay? You get sentenced to that, and you tough it out, dude, to the very bitter, sweet end. And then you can't go nowhere. What? Oh, and I get it. Like, I get it. They can't transport. I get it. Oh, but then I read, and she was telling me, what they'll do is they'll transport you to a jail. The whole point of the program was for you to not go back to jail. But what they're doing is they're transporting these people that are out of treatment programs back to jail to sit into quarantine in jail in a little tiny solitary cell for 2 weeks. And then they get to go into a pod in jail until the whole pandemic is over, and then they'll get placed where they need to go. How does that make sense? It's putting them back in jail where there's drugs, where there's, oh God, just, it makes me mad. All right, that's all I'm going to talk about, you guys. I'm getting hyphy. I do have some friends that are going through it right now. I wouldn't say friends. I'd say past acquaintances who I am trying to encourage to stay strong. I have a guy friend who's in the Helena pre-release right now. Shout out to you. You can do this. You are so strong. I know you can do this. Just focus. And it sucks. He says it's just, I can't imagine. But I wanted to show you guys, if you're still here, you're still watching, and you made it this far. I know it's a long one, but I have some crazy cool stuff coming up. We're going to drop the sad shit, and we're going to talk about some cool shit. I know there's like only 2 people watching right now, but you two are the baddies. The Insta baddies like me. All right, let's get into it. First thing I ordered was this mini fan from Hunhei. This thing, you guys, is fucking dope. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm doing a little unboxing right now on my live. Lighten it up a little bit. I'm gonna edit this live a little bit just so it's not so choppy, because I know I was like staring at my phone trying to read, and I'm not a good reader, so I will fix it before I post it. Don't fucking judge me and don't come for me. And yes, I'm still in the same curls from my Insta baddie. I haven't washed my hair. It's Wednesday, and that happened on Sunday night, so, whatever. Does anybody wash their hair every day? I don't think so. All right, this is the fan. It comes with a little base. It's so cute! Look at it. Okay, and it turns as 3 levels. Look, I can be like a real Insta baddie. Oh, yeah. Get it. Oh, ooh, ooh. It's so, so cool. And it's rechargeable. It comes with a little cord. No brick, though. I hate that they're doing that now. They're not giving you a brick. Oh, sorry. That was probably really loud for you guys. It was right by my microphone. I love, love, love that. Okay, also, I finally, Aspen can attest for this. She knows I've been waiting for packages for freaking weeks, okay? I finally got my magnetic lashes. Oh my freaking god, it came today. So this is really cool. It's a magnetic liner that you put on like eyeliner. And then I got a regular set of lashes that they just looked really pretty. They're called Blowout. This is all from the Kiss brand. And then I got this one that's the magnetic lashes here. Those look so pretty. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. Those look so pretty. Oh my gosh. Yes. And then I got these ones that are a little bit more natural. Oh, shit. Sorry. That was probably really loud. I'm a shit show, you guys. A complete fucking shit show. There's those ones. So I'm super stoked to try these out. I'm going to do it on a Makeup Monday video. I don't know which one. Or maybe I'll just do it on fucking Friday. I don't know. No, I already filmed my fucking Friday. Fuck, I'm a mess. Okay, also, finally, if you've been following me and you've been watching all my videos, you fucking know that I've been waiting for this fucking thing forever, dude. This fucking thing. I know I'm not going to open it right now because I'm going to do an unboxing on my channel. But, finally got my BoxyCharm. I ordered this. I went and looked. I thought it was on the 7th. No, the 3rd. I ordered this on the 3rd, you guys. It is the 29th, and it finally showed up. They said that it would process and get to me within 15 days. And that was like with the, the virus. They were like, oh yeah, because of the virus, instead of it being 7 to 10 business days, it's going to be extended to 15 days. No, it took a fucking month. And it's already the end of the month, and my next one is going to be here. So it's like, what? This is my April box. Not my May box. April. Okay? This is April, and I'm just now getting it. Ugh. But I'm excited. I've never, ever had a BoxyCharm before. If you know, then you know. I've done Ipsy. I have Ipsy. I wanted to do a battle of the boxes, but I couldn't wait any longer, so I had to do my Ipsy box without it, and now I got my BoxyCharm, so I'm going to do a BoxyCharm, and then next month in May, I'm going to do a battle of the boxes, Ipsy and BoxyCharm. They're going to fucking battle royale, dude. So I'm really excited about that. Depending on what's on my BoxyCharm, I might just do the magnetic lashes with the BoxyCharm, but I was thinking of just doing them on their own little video, so maybe I'll just throw in a 4th video upload this week. Feeling feisty. Feeling feisty. I think that's all I got. Oh, there was one more thing. Where did I put it? Oh, no. Oh, there it is. You guys, this thing is it. Look at it. If anyone can guess what this is right now in the comments before I tell you what it is, I will go buy another one and give you it. Send it to you. For free. I'll pay shipping and everything. If you can name what it is, it's yours. Well, not this one, but a new one. Alright, I'll give you the count of 10. Alright? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, no one guessed. Guess what? You don't get one then. Alright, this is a scalp scratcher, you guys. It's a scalp massager, a scalp exfoliator. This thing was like $8 on Amazon, and I'm telling you what, it has like little silicone tips, like they're soft and rubbery. You can like, oh god, you guys, I have a really dry scalp, so this thing was like thebomb.com, dude. If you have like dandruff or dry scalp and like it's that time of year and you just want to like really massage and lather your scalp and exfoliate your scalp, this, you guys, is the shit. I was so stoked about it. I love it so much. All right, I'm gonna go, you guys. I know I ranted and raved a lot. I'm gonna edit this video and fix it because I know there was a lot of points that were probably like super horrible, and I'm already at 40 minutes. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here and watching me and sticking it out. If you watched this entire time, I am gonna go. I love you guys so, 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 so much. Please, if you know someone who's incarcerated or you know someone in jail, write them a letter. I don't even know if they're accepting mail right now. I bet you they're not. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Oh my god. It could make me cry. Letters were the only thing that kept me sane. The only thing that kept me from not wanting to blow my brains out. And I'm not even being like that. I'm serious. Oh, I bet you they're not. Or maybe they're holding them for like a few days and then giving them. I don't know. I hope to God they're letting them get mail. Because if they're not getting mail either, oh fuck. I bet they're losing it in there. Oh, I bet you it is popping off in there, you guys. I know that 2 inmates had an illegal cell phone in jail, and they put a video out saying that they're going to kill themselves if they don't stop bringing in inmates to the pod without quarantining them for 2 weeks. They're like, you're bringing all these people in, they're going to kill us. We didn't get a death sentence, but they're giving us one. And they were like saying they were going to, yeah. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I really am going to go. I'm sorry it was an hour long almost, but you guys are the best. And I will see you on F It Friday. And yeah, I'll probably have a video on Saturday too because I'm feeling really feisty. But I love you guys. I'm gonna go. Adios, amigos.